The opening whistle for this friendly international was to be one of two, of course, for New Zealand on a playing surface that doesn't look, at first glance, to be in the best shape. But both sides will make do, I'm sure, and the opening 10 minutes will be crucial as both sides look to settle down. If anything, of course, China have been the more active. New Zealand, you've got to go back to those internationals in October last year back in New Zealand for their last hit out in international football. Much is said, Fred, every time Ryan Nelson, of course, is not in this New Zealand side. He'll be at home in Blackburn, nursing what we're told is not a serious knee injury. Is that a critical factor here tonight, though, that this back three led by Ivan Visolic without their inspirational skipper?
Well, I think it's just something New Zealand has to get used to, you know, and they have to be good enough to win games without Ryan Nelson. You know, you've got a lot of experience in Ivan Visolic at the back, so you know he's a good player to have in there for the youngsters, especially if they come on in the second half. But like I say, you know, New Zealand's got to be bigger than one man, and you know, Ryan, he's getting on a bit now, and not sure if he's gonna, you know, if he's gonna commit to making it through to the next World Cup. So life without Ryan Nelson, you have to get used to that.
First set piece opportunity goes the way of the home side, and it's a great save, and then the opening goal. So the save from Moss is to no avail, and it's the skipper that's opened the scoring way. So Moss, you can hardly blame the keeper here. There might be questions asked about the All Whites defending. We talked about who would settle. China clearly have the early advantage.
Yeah, and Ricky Herbert won't be happy with this. You know, straight from a set play, and Douay got up well. It was a great save from Moss in the first instance, but I think it came off a ricochet, and it could even be an own goal there, I think, from Andy Boyens. Yeah, so Douay with the initial header, great save from Moss, and then Andy Boyens just facing his own goal and puts that one past his own keeper. So a horror start for the All Whites. I think that might have something to do with the way that football's probably not a game that lends itself to the type of training that the Chinese do with their youth.
Well, they've got plenty of pace. Oh, Moss is stretched. And really, it's just good fortune that the New Zealanders don't go down with a second goal. And that was just all about pace, Fred. Really, New Zealand struggling out wide and China getting in behind that back three.
And tackle had to be made in the middle of the park there just to break up the attack. It was Jeremy Brockie who did so.
And they stretched them again. It's Zhao Zhang.
But there again, you see that crossfield pass, you know, picking out one of the Chinese players.
There's a chance, Fred, and really New Zealand are incredibly lucky here, and Glen Moss might well look at his defenders and ask questions. Straight back off the post and into the hands of Glen Moss.
Yeah, beautiful skills here, just through the legs of Ivan Visolic. Picks his spot, but his spot just happens to be the post. So a real let-off for the All Whites, and really they should be a couple of goals down. They just need to get their foot on the ball, maintain a bit of possession, and just try and find a toehold in this game, because at the moment they are getting run around.
Play, and there'll be a card here, you would think, for Tommy Smith. Adding insult to injury, the nutmeg was clever play from Jude de Bao. And so Tommy Smith into the book, and defender's worst nightmare.
Yeah, I mean, de Bao, he's already shown himself to be a very, very skillful player, hasn't he? He's the guy that hit the post a couple of minutes ago. Here again, he does Tommy Smith all ends up. And Tommy Smith goes into the book for that. 15 minutes
minutes or so of this international. Visilic, proud man to skipper his country, playing his 72nd international. Now New Zealand with numbers. Wood couldn't get the purchase, and that was a pretty good opportunity. And Wood with support on either side, and I think he acknowledges that now.
Yes, good chance for the All Whites this one. Long ball from Moss, couple of touches on the chest from Wood, and then he elects to shoot. Every right to do so as well. The ball was sitting there to be hit. They
just couldn't find the goal, could they, the Australians? An indication, if nothing else, of the current strength in the Asian Confederation with this performance so far. But New Zealand looking to respond now. Wood into the area. Wonderful defensive work. It was a last-ditch stretch of the right leg, and the ball cannons off Chris Wood. And I think even worse for New Zealand, this will be a goal kick. But just half a yard away, Chris Wood.
Beautiful ball, that beautifully weighted pass from Killen. Wood comes in and just gets way too much on the ball. Just needs a little dink over the top. I think the defender might have just got a touch before Wood hit it. So credit the defender for getting back, but Chen is in a bit of difficulty. It's a pretty big unit. He's a pretty solid unit, Chris Wood.
It was an all-or-nothing challenge, wasn't it? Dangerous. Tommy Smith, I think more in hope than good planning, just allowing that ball to go past. Dave Mulligan is a look up and to see if one of the front three is available. And this might be an opportunity for New Zealand, straight into the hands of the keeper, Yui Lei, and Jeremy Brockie has missed a gilt-edged opportunity, as the halftime whistle is surely just moments away, anywhere except straight at the keeper, and it's 1-1.
Yeah, the ball flicked on here. Big looping header, and there Jeremy Brockie going up unopposed and hits the ball straight at the keeper. Either side, and it's in. And the All Whites are back on level terms, but a glaring opportunity missed by the All Whites.
So Costa Barbarouses is on, the 21-year-old. He replaces Chris Wood, and also a second change, and we'll get confirmation of just who's left the park as soon as we can. Of course, himself has not emerged for the second half. And a chance, New Zealand over the bar, and that was a good opportunity. Ricky Herbert just for a moment about to get out of his seats. The cameras are going to focus on Barbarouses. I'm not sure that it was the young substitutes, or was it Fred? It is Barbarouses who arrived late. Visilic attracted the Chinese, didn't he? And Barbarouses just snuck in behind the skipper.
Yeah, just ghosting between a couple of players, didn't he, Costa Barbarouses? Good jump on him as well. Just couldn't direct his header under the crossbar. And again, good early signs from the All Whites. Started the second half way better than they did the first.
And here's Smelts. We didn't see enough of this in the first half. It's good quick feet from Shane Smelts, but good defending as well. Force backwards. Flag stays down. Lockhead. Touch now. Lockhead into the area. This is better. Promising. Touchdown now for McGlinchey, and they've equalised. New Zealand through Michael McGlinchey, and they've started the second half superbly, and that is just reward. New Zealand on level terms.
Yeah, well done from the All Whites. Just maintained a bit of pressure. Really, for the first time, they had 2 or 3 bites at this. And then eventually the ball drops for McGlinchey. And he rips off a great shot past the keeper. Ball knocked down, a hint of a handball there, but McGlinchey just drills that one past the keeper. So it does well, good technique, gets his foot over the ball. And the keeper, not much chance there. Ricky Herbert, see how happy he is with that one. And Brian Turner in the background as well.
question here is, will he get on the park at 1-1? Because New Zealand pressing again. Brocky, space at the far post. First real goal-scoring opportunity for that man, Shane Smeltz. And he can't quite keep the header down. But as is so often the case, he wins those 50-50 duels in the air when he appears to have no right. So the change, meanwhile, is made. 11 Yan Zhangchuan is replaced by John Min. Play on, no foul. New Zealand without the numbers forward for Chris Killen. Shane Smeltz really is operating as a left winger, and pretty effective as well. Nice little step, and dummy Mulligan caused some real trouble, didn't he, Dave Mulligan? He does have a liking for scoring spectacular goals, and that was very nearly the second goal for New Zealand.
So here is the shot from Mulligan. And you can see there the keeper just hitting it with his forearms.
Oh, I tell you what, Kiwi Tia Street would have been hearing about that for about the next 6 months. They were impressed.
He's looked very composed, hasn't he? Just on the ball, everything he's done so far. He's held off.
Chance for New Zealand on the break. Shane Smeltz with support. An opportunity to take the lead. A wonderful save, really. That is as good an opportunity as Chris Killen can expect in international football. But let's credit ULA. He guessed the right way and palms it beyond his left-hand post.
Yeah, Shane Smeltz just lays the ball across for Chris Killen. And Killen, you can see straight away he's going to line this up and hit it. Hits it well. Was going just inside the post, I think. Possibly could have hit it across the goalkeeper into the far corner.
And a double change now. So a double change for New Zealand. And we will see Marco Rojas. So this is a debut that many people have waited for. And a double change, and you are watching the future of New Zealand football. This man's far from done, I've got to tell you. Chris Killen, Jeremy Brocky is another one in the young brigade. But in Marco Rojas and Michael Fitzgerald, you have two players that have every opportunity to be a part of this New Zealand side coming through, and we're seeing much of it on display here tonight.
Yes, there is, and I mean, it's also...
Flag stays down here, so talking of young talent and opportunities, Rojas at the far post looking for support. Barbarouses couldn't find them, and then the finish is poor from that man, Shane Smeltz. A round of the New Zealand Football Premiership, but if they have some, they'll know that that was always going to be on the cards from Dave Mulligan. And let's not underestimate that performance away from home. Flag stays down. China could win it here. Oh, Moss. Wonderful save with the legs. I reckon he saved more with the shins and the knees as Glen Moss than he has with his gloves.
Players, the Chinese coughed up possession. Here we see again an opportunity of a couple of minutes ago. Glen Moss with a good save coming out with his legs. But down at the other end, well, also for Smeltz, I think he...
China, can they steal the game away? Tommy Smith got back, made really good ground. And then Glen Moss, there's a little bit of afters here from DeBow. And New Zealand having to be very alert in the closing seconds. Glen Moss with a good save. Ricky Herbert says that'll do. Come on, full time.
Great through ball for China. And Dubao rips off the shot. Again, parried by Moss. And I mean, the striker's got every right to go for that ball. You know, the ball's sitting there, and I don't know, no reason for Glen Moss to get too angry about that.
And it was Boxall who showed great pace at the end of the game, and that's a nice note to end it on, because this has been a night for the newcomers in this New Zealand side, as well as some seasoned veterans. New Zealand has performed superbly. They conceded a very early goal. They won't be happy about that, but they've come back in superb fashion to finish 1-1 with China, and that is no mean feat for this New Zealand team.